Welcome, folks. So for today's demonstration, what we're going to do is use a code generator like GPT-4, and we're going to insert this prompt here that I've created for us. And we're going to pretty much use matplotlib to generate an electromagnetic wave. And here I quickly describe this as two orthogonal sinusoidal waves, and it should have a period of 6 pi. And we're going to ignore the labels because we don't need that for now. And then it should not look like a spiral. And the thing is, sometimes it generates a script for what looks like a spiral curve. And we're going to confirm what the output looks like so that we can use that as inspiration for generating a Blender Python script. And then we're going to add a couple of other parameters to that script, or to generate that script. And then we're going to insert the working Python script here, the original one. And then from there, once we place it into Blender and run the script, we'll be able to make a few other modifications to make a very nice, fancy looking graphic. Okay, so go ahead and type this script out. You can pause the video, and then once you type the script out, you can go ahead and open up GPT or Copilot, and then what you can do is type it into the prompt here, the prompt box, and then click on go or press enter. And then it will generate a very simple Python script. The thing is, you could write this out yourself in Python if you wanted. Simply what you need is a NumPy library, matplotlib, and then some matplotlib toolkits. And this is the result that we are looking for. You have two transverse waves, and there are no labels around it. It's going to be nice and clean. And so, as you can see, we pretty much ignore the labels. We make sure that the axis is off. What am I looking for here? There's no grid lines, and then we need to have a 3D projection. Okay, so this is what we need. This is good. We're going to go ahead and give it a thumbs up and say this is a good response. Then I'm going to go here to our little instruction that I created, and then I'm going to go Control V to paste it here. So now what we need to do is take this script and go ahead and copy this whole thing. So we need some of these parameters, so what I call the critical parameters, to be encoded. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to GPT again, and then paste it here, and let's go ahead and click go or enter. And now Blender is going to go ahead and introduce the Blender Py library along with the math library and NumPy. And then from there, it's going to introduce a curve object into Blender, and then it's going to start bending that curve so that it matches a sinusoidal wave shape or wave pattern. And then we can use this to represent the magnetic field, as well as the electric field. And then it's going to apply an emission, as you can see here, and then the color that's respective to those two emission sources. And then, all right, let's go see what this can do. And then there should be an emission strength of 50. Where is it? Okay, the emission strength is right here. It's 50. Now let's go ahead and go to Blender. So I have Blender open here, and we're going to get rid of this cube for today. We don't need it. And now go straight to this tab up here on the upper right. It says scripting. Click on this, and then go to this option here. It says new. Create a new text data block. Click on it, and then paste the script that was generated into this script box here. And then it says here it's about 58 lines of code. And now all we need to do is go to the play button here and press on it. It's going to run the script. Go ahead and run the script, and you should see something here on the left side. There's some geometries that have been created. Let's go to layout, click on the layout tab, and now we can see some very nice transverse sinusoidal waves representing the electromagnetic field, electromagnetic wave. Okay, wonderful. That's what we're looking for. We're going to go ahead and provide some very basic modifications. So we can easily just go to the Data Properties tab here on the right. the geometry resolution, we can crank this up to maybe 10 or something. Not sure how high it goes exactly. Let's try 16. That looks much better. Okay. And then we can do the same thing with this other curve here. Let's go ahead and go to the bevel and then change the resolution to like 16. And then press fill caps. It will close the hole at the end. We need to do that with both of these actually. Fill caps. There you go. So now you can see that the shape has been filled at the end. Okay. Confirm that both of these geometries under the material properties tab are using ray tracing. So go ahead and scroll down right here under the settings. So material properties, and then scroll down and then look for settings. There's a box that says settings, or an option that says settings. Go ahead and click on it, scroll down, and look for this option that says ray tracing or ray traced transmission. Click on this, enable that, and then we need to enable that for both objects. So let me click on the other object here, the other wave, and I'm going to go enable the ray trace transmission. All right, so now that both have been enabled with ray tracing transmission, I can go to the render properties tab and I can enable the ray tracing. So for today, we're just going to use the EV render engine because I don't have the GPU plugged into my Surface Pro right now. And next, all we have to do is go to world properties and let's change the background to a darker background. So if we go here to this other, say for example, this viewport shading, which is a render preview, you'll notice that the background is now much darker. It's going to stand out more because we're going to make this glow. That's what we're trying to achieve. And now what I can do actually is I can go to this tab up here that says compositing. Click on the compositing tab and then enable this box here. It says use nodes. Click on this checkbox. And now go to the add tab here. It says add, and then look for filter right here, and then go to glare. Click on that. And then hover over the middle section between these two boxes here, and then just click on it. And now it will add this glare node, which we can change the option to a fog glow. And then you can also play around with the size and the strength or the quality, maybe high quality, of the glowing effect, which is really just a bloom effect that we're introducing into the newer versions of Blender, like 4.3 versions of Blender, for example. Okay, so now you should see these two transverse waves, or this transverse wave in Blender. And now if we go to the camera, toggle the camera view right here, click on that, we can actually hold the control key down and then press and hold the middle scroll wheel and then just push the mouse forward. We can adjust this viewport window and then press the letter N on the keyboard to open this option here, and then go to the view tab and then click on camera to view. It will hold this position on the viewport here and then press the letter N. And now we can actually move the camera around to whichever position that we'd like. And I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the render tab up here on the upper left side of the screen and then click on render image. And now we have a nice glowing object of this of this transverse wave. And now you can use this however you like. And so in our case, we can actually use this to create a figure for scientific publication or like a public lecture or something like that. It's really good. All right, so now you know how to do that, and that's pretty much all we needed to do. Here are the rest of the options that we just did. We enabled the ray tracing in EV, and then the ray traced emission under the material properties tab. We enabled the fill caps for the geometry. We also, well, we changed the resolution as well, but that's optional really. The resolution change is optional, but you can definitely enable fill caps if you'd like as well. And then we applied the glare filter to make it sort of look like it's glowing. And then we also changed the background to a darker color. Okay, so this is pretty much all you need to get going with scripting in Blender, and along with the code generation. So I hope that was useful. The other thing I almost forgot to mention is that if you wanted to animate this process like this, you simply click on either one of the geometries and then apply the build modifier right here. So you go to add modifier and then look for build or type it in. And then when you click on build modifier, you can set the starting frame and then the ending frame as well for both geometries. And then you can play with the camera angle and do whatever you want. But that's the gist of it. And then if you want to change the length of how many peaks there are on this wave, you can go to the script and then you can change, let's see here, you can change this number here under parameters. So go to parameters and then you can change this pi value. Originally we did 6, but here I changed it to 14, and then I wanted to make this wave last a bit longer so that I can animate that nice process. But anyways, thought you'd like to see that. Enjoy.